Welcome back everyone to the channel. I'm Melody and I'm coming at you with a recipe today that you could use for Thanksgiving if you want as a side dish, or you can make it just for dinner. This is going to be for dinner tonight, but this is something that I would absolutely do on Thanksgiving. So let me explain to you what's going on. I peeled some Idaho potatoes. I prefer Idaho for this. I peeled them all. I have cold water in the pot right here, which I'm now getting ready to turn on. Super simple recipe. I'll take you through the steps. So here's your potatoes. They're peeled. And you're going to want to cut them differently, I guess is the word I should say. You don't want them to be the exact size. You want them to be a little odd so that you can put them on a baking sheet with some infused olive oil, rosemary, garlic, roast them in the oven so that you get that crunch. So that, and what I mean by odd is just keep turning your potato like so. You'll get different shapes and uniformed potatoes. Now you don't have to leave them as big as this. You can cut it in half. It's just so that I could show you. There's a potato. You want both sides to be able to get crisp. So not super tiny. And then we're going to put them in cold water. I just literally turned it on, so just some odd pieces. You can make this in a bigger quantity for Thanksgiving if you like. Figured I would show you the whole chopping part. See, they're all different sizes. And don't put them in hot water. You want to put them in cold water. So let me finish chopping up these last two potatoes. Right in the cold water they go. You're going to boil the potatoes till they're tender. You don't want them mushy. You want them to still have some firmness because they're going to cook more in the oven. So I just did a few potatoes. This is definitely great for Thanksgiving if you're having a smaller amount of people this year due to everything that's going on. This is awesome. So there's the potatoes. They're inside the cold water that I just turned on. So now what we're going to do next is I have a little pot. This recipe is so easy. I have a cookie sheet with sides because like I said, this is going to end up going in the oven. So you want to take some olive oil. I would say about a cup. Depends. If you have more potatoes than that, probably a cup and a quarter. And you don't have to, I happen to have this garlic upstairs. I will go down and get more. You don't need to peel it or anything. You just want to infuse the oil. So let me just take the bottom off of this. The root is on there. There we go. Let me get that out of here. But here's your garlic. If your paper falls off, no big deal. So you figure that's 3, 4. I'm going to use about 6. And then what you do is you just give them a little whack. I mean, if the paper's obnoxious, you can pull a little bit of it off, but you really don't even have to peel it. Just give it a crack. Drop it in, because this is what's going to flavor the potatoes. So since I did, I think 4 large ones, we'll tell you exactly how much garlic you need to put in there. Just smash it. Paper and all can go right on in a little saucepan about this big. I would do about 4 or 5. Really give it a crack, because this is going to flavor the oil. Okay, so we have the garlic with the shells and everything on. Let me hit this other light. I want to make sure you are seeing good. I didn't even realize I didn't have the other light on. There's the olive oil, 6 cloves of garlic. I just whacked them. And then I just cut some rosemary. I am not gonna, I'll show you. Take your rosemary, you're gonna stick it on in. I just washed it, that's why I was just drying that off. You're just gonna throw it in. You're gonna let this steep to season the oil on low for about 10-15 minutes. I'll show you what that looks like. As soon as the potatoes are done, we'll take the next step. All right, I just wanted to turn you back on. This is what it looks like in the infused oil. Like I said, you're gonna let that, don't put it on high, just put it on enough to start infusing the oil with the garlic and the rosemary, and that will be the sauce that goes over the potatoes. Once the potatoes come to a boil, they're a little tender, we're going to drain them and drain them well, because they're going to go on here. And the only way you're going to get that crispiness in the oven is to make sure your potatoes are not soaked. So, like I said, as soon as the potatoes are done, I will bring you back. Okay, I wanted to turn this on so that you could see. It's a little steamy. But look, when I take the fork, smaller fork, you can start to feel that they're just now starting to get tender. And that's when you want to turn them off. Okay? So let me sit you down here. I am going to take the pot and I'm going to drain it right now. So, bear with me. So you want them to be like halfway cooked. But this is a great little side dish for Thanksgiving. You can make this on the side. You can make this for a weeknight dinner. But I figured I would come up with a few ideas, since everybody has to scale back with everything that's going on. You might be having 6 people, you might be having 2 people. And I thought, let me show you my little idea. I'm just gonna set that back there. I'm gonna turn you guys around. It is steaming. And yeah, that's my pork chops for later. So, you really want to make sure that you have all the water out of the potatoes as much as possible. And then we're just going to take the potatoes and we're going to lay them out. And this is why I say don't cook them any more than that, because then they'll start breaking up. And those were Idaho potatoes. So, and then what you want to do is just try to at least get them down on one side. Doesn't matter. Oh, I have you pointed the wrong directions. I'm so sorry. Make sure that the potatoes are like on its side so that they can get that crispiness. Spread them out. I have my new stove back. It's been in storage and I kind of did these a couple minutes too long, so don't do what I did. I had them on my fast burner, and these could have been drained a few minutes sooner, only because of the little pieces, but if you like the little pieces, that's fine too. Then what you're going to do, let me sit you like this. So I'm going to get the infused oil, and I'm going to show you that this is what it looks like right there. And then you're going to just use back of a fork and hold the garlic and the rosemary back. And you're just going to drizzle it. Just want to make sure that you have enough. You'll be left with that. This is fine. If you have more oil, you can always put that in a mason jar and save it. So now, I'm going to take a little bit of pink Himalayan salt. We're going to salt the potatoes. You're going to set your oven for 425. And then, normally, this was Thanksgiving, I would tell you, cut this in half and put half down in the oil, corner. But I'm not going to waste all that much garlic because of the factor we're going to have this for dinner tonight. But I also wanted to show this recipe in case you wanted to use it for a side. Rosemary, you just pull it off the stem. And you just want to sprinkle it all over. I'm still growing rosemary, so that's a bonus. But rosemary, garlic, on potatoes in general are delish anyway, so you can make this look super cute for Thanksgiving. And it's something quick to have on the side. Now, I'm just going to whack 2 pieces of garlic, since I'm not using a half a garlic like I would at Thanksgiving, which is a whole garlic head. You just cut it in half, leave the paper, nestle it down in the corner, half and half. That's how I would do it. But I'm just going to cut these in some bigger chunks and put them around down in the oil. And that is it. Super easy, a quick side dish for Thanksgiving. That's it. So, this is the garlic rosemary potatoes. I'm going to get ready to put them in my oven. You can see it's set for 425. And I'm going to let these get crisp. Nice and crisp where they have that crunch. So I will bring you back as soon as we get to that point. Okay, so another quick suggestion is don't turn them. Don't turn them or flip them until the halfway point so that you don't break your potatoes. So there they are. They're coming along. And we're just going to let them go until we flip them over and get them all crunchy. Okay, hopefully you can get a good view of this. I just flipped them. They can actually go back in. You can crisp them up another 5 or 10 minutes. But this looks pretty good to me. And that's how I would serve them on Thanksgiving or as a side for dinner. So super easy recipe. Like I said, if you're scaling down this year, or if you're having 6 people, I mean, you can add more potatoes, but you basically just want to get them crispy all the way around, and they are phenomenal with the infused oil. So I hope that you give this a try. And if you need a quick little side for Thanksgiving, try this out. This is going to go back in for about another 5 to 8 minutes on the other side. But that is what it will look like all the way around on both sides, crispy through and through. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Love you guys. Give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment, and I will see you on the next video. God bless.